look at this.
Yeah!
Jason McCourty has now reached the highest standard you can on Get Up. He has a segment that involves a name-based pun. Dominique, welcome to the group.
Yeah, congratulations. Welcome. That means you're fully part of the family. I don't want to critique it, but I mean, maybe I'm not that smart, but it took me a second. I was like, holding court. Oh, McCourty. Like,
Yes.
I get it. Holding McCourt would be, I mean, a little bit more name.
Does the segment change the paycheck or anything?
No, that's the thing. There's plenty of it on it. Yeah.
I was just asking. I was like, I might as well throw it out there.
Greeny got it all. I hope that came through the audio. Okay, here we go. Let's do this segment. He's going to make 3 statements for us. And here we go. The very first one, give me something on the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, everybody loves Joe Flacco, but it's time. We know when that moment has come. It's time to go ahead and grab the podcast equipment. Dylan Gabriel will be the starter in London, taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The rookie, the left-hander, he can come in, and I think he can operate Stefanski's offense a little bit better. He showed some promise in the preseason. I think we've seen enough of Flacco. It is time to give the rookie the juice. And we saw what it did for the New York Giants with Jackson Dart. Let's see if Dylan Gabriel can do the same.
It's an interesting one. They play Minnesota, who has been there. They were in Ireland. Now they're going over to England. It'd be interesting to see if they start him against that group. Okay, the next holding court. Give me something on another team in that division.
Oh, this is probably my favorite one of this morning. I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and going into the season, we all talked about Aaron Rodgers doesn't really have to do too much. Well, he's done enough. This Steelers offense is finding a way to get it done. On the heels of that, my partner on this show, Dan Graziano, by the end of this season, he is going to be singing Aaron Rodgers' praises. He can't wait for that moment when the Pittsburgh Steelers make the playoffs and Rodgers is the one leading the way. I've gotten to know Graz pretty good right now, and I can just see this coming in the future. I'm holding court. Aaron Rodgers, he wins over Graz.
He's going to win him over. I love it. Okay, last one. The Philadelphia Eagles are confounding and unbeaten. Give me something on that.
Sal Palantonio agrees. We talked about it. We didn't. But I'm going to say this. We all looked at A.J. Brown's tweets. It is not his tweets that are the issue in Philadelphia. Right now, they have to figure out this run game. Saquon Barkley is averaging less than 4 yards a carry. Every time he gets the ball, there's somebody standing in front of him ready to tackle him. If Saquon can get going, it'll make it a lot easier to get A.J. Brown the ball. If A.J. Brown gets the ball, I promise you, he won't have time to tweet.
All right, 2 things. Excellent segment. That's a keeper. Second of all, so you've seen the A.J. Brown posts on X. Nick Sirianni talked about it yesterday. This is what he said about his possibly disgruntled wide receiver.
Obviously, AJ is very important to this football team. I know he wants to contribute. I know he wants to contribute and, do the things that he's capable of doing. I question nothing about, his desire to play great football, his desire of being a good teammate, his desire to be here.
Okay, and so there's Nick Sirianni. I question nothing about his desire to be a good teammate. I question nothing about his desire to be here. Sal, go.
Right, he wasn't even asked whether or not A.J. Brown wanted to be here or not. But all the talk in Philadelphia is whether A.J. Brown should be on the Philadelphia Eagles. Should he be traded? Should he want to leave? And I don't see any sign of that within the team or with. We have to wait until we hear from A.J. Brown. Let's not put any words in his mouth. I think it's really important for the man to get an opportunity to speak besides what he says on Twitter. So trading A.J. Brown or whether he wants to be here or not, I think it's sort of like, as my children will say, Dad, that's a false narrative.
Okay, maybe. The trading part of it, perhaps. Let me, yes.
Did someone run up and tape his mouth shut after the game on Sunday, or did he decide not to talk after the game on Sunday? I mean, it seems like he's had a chance and passed on that chance and chose instead to tweet. Look, wide receiver tweets, like, we can't get enough. Like, this is all, like two of the 3 segments so far, right? Yeah. But, I think he has a chance. He could explain himself if he wants. I don't know. Part of me wonders if he's kind of in on the gag.
Well, here's what
I don't think it's a gag, Dan. Yeah. I know this young man. I know this wide receiver. I know this player. I know A.J. Brown a little bit. Talked to him last year when he was reading the book on the sideline, Inner Excellence.
You didn't talk to him a little bit. Let me set this up. You did a lengthy sit-down interview and feature about him and the author of the book. So the authority on the whole, last time we went through this with A.J. Brown is you, Sal.
He's an introspective guy. He's a deep guy. He's a well-meaning person. He's a good teammate. The thing is, as we were talking in the pregame show, of the meeting, they're not giving him good routes. They're not giving him an opportunity really to get the ball. The second half against the Rams, he really played one good half all season because they had the right routes against the right defense. You went against the boogeyman last week in Tampa. You went against Todd Bowles and the best secondary that he is going to see all year long, A.J. Brown. McCollum shut him down. They shut down the offense in the second half. So they went against a very good defense. Let's see how this thing progresses. But I think the bottom line is they got to get more creative ways to get him the football. That is the bottom line.
I think Sal's right that we don't want to read too much into it, but it's pretty obvious that he's not feeling great. Right? There's no reason to believe that he sent out that tweet because he loves what's going on. And I think we assume that because it's a wide receiver tweeting or talking that it comes from a place of selfishness. But I think that any criticism, and this is not what AJ's saying, but any criticism of that offense is fair criticism. They're running an offense that seems as if they're like the most talented high school in the district. Like, we don't got to get complicated. We don't got to shift. We don't got to motion. Our dude's better than your dude.
Yeah. Bigger than your dudes.
And bigger and better. And AJ is one of those guys, but still, this is the NFL. And they were running plays last week where his route tree is like a hitch, a go, a slant. They're running hitches into rolled up cover 2 coverage. It's like, I could understand why A.J. Brown or anybody in that situation could be frustrated.
I get that they're 4-0 and they won this game. This table, the 5 of us combined, had more yards from scrimmage in the second half than the Eagles did on Sunday. It was -1. So, I mean, there is an issue. And I get being 4-0 gives you all kinds of room to resolve your issues. But there is obviously an issue. And A.J. Brown is not, I don't think he's being selfish. I think he's saying, hey, I can help. That's a frustrating place to be. When you feel like you can do more.
We hear wide receiver talk, you assume that it's like from
I'm not assuming that. I'm saying, like, he feels like, hey, there's an issue we need to resolve. I can help resolve it. Use me.
So here's the problem as a talk show host. Now, J-Mac, I'll give it back to you because you started the conversation talking about the running game. The problem as a talk show host is you feel kind of ridiculous when the question is, what's the problem with the Eagles? They have won 20 of their last 21 games, including the Super Bowl. We are talking about them right now. They are 4-0. So whatever it is they're doing, as unsightly as it sometimes is, it is working. So the question is, do they need to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do they need to fix it? Is it broke?
I think it's not broke. It's always evolving. That's how you end up winning that many games out of 20 out of 21. And I think what A.J. Brown's point is that, yes, to a certain extent, find ways to get him the football. I think the other side of it is A.J. Brown's a captain on this football team. And I think when there are issues with the offense, if there's issues with the defense, whatever's going on, it stays within the locker room. So I'm not going to read into his tweets, but at the end of the day, if there is an issue and you do have a problem, I think amongst those leaders in that locker room, whether it's Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, there's so many of them, walk into Kevin Patullo's office and say, hey, you know what? I have 4 ideas.
This is exactly what happened after week 4 last week. Last year, excuse me. Last year, they were 2-2. They came out of Tampa. They got waxed by Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers. And they changed what they did. They lengthened their practices on defense. They went to the foundation of what they do in the running game. 2 things about this, okay? 1, I wrote down this word. It was said twice on the set about A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is not a selfish person at all. Just the opposite. He is a truly introspective, interesting guy who is a very good teammate. He wants what's best for the football team. Yeah, because it sounds like it's coming from a wide receiver, we automatically assume that that's the personality that he has. It's not. Secondly, what are they doing good? What are they doing well? Well, they're not turning the ball over. Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback who has started and finished every single game this season who does not have an interception. They're playing complementary football. Their defense is getting after it. They have a very well-coached defense that's getting after the quarterback. You saw that with the tip of Baker Mayfield's pass and then the interception of by Jahad Campbell in the end zone. That was really the turning point. They're getting turnovers. They're not turning the ball over, playing contra. And, oh, by the way, they have a dancing bear on roller skates named Jordan Davis who blocked the field goal and then returned it for a touchdown like he was shot out of a cannon, okay?
It's all good and fun, but you cannot, a strategy is not, we're going to block kicks.
Right.
So they blocked the punt last week.
Down in all 3 phases of the game the last time I saw it.
Okay.
But the point is,
no one's disagreeing. No one's disagreeing with you that they are sound in all three phases.
Gotta be sound.
They're obviously an excellent team. They get and deserve the benefit of the doubt because they won the Super Bowl last year. The year before, they started 10-1, and the offense was a mess, and the whole thing fell apart. That is within the range of potential outcomes here, no? I mean, like, if they have to do something to evolve the offense.
The beauty of what we get to do is debate 4-0, right?
100%.
4-0 speaks for itself.
No question.
There's no debate.
But so did 10-1 2 years ago, and it was lying. So here's the issue, right? Last year, Saquon Barkley would rip off 50, 60, 70-yard touchdown runs. We're not seeing it. Obviously, teams are keying on him. So how long do you want to stick with, and this is the benefit of being 4-0, right? Because it gives you more time. How long do you want to stick with, well, we have to make sure we don't turn it over? That's priority number one. Or at some point, do you have to start taking some risks to elevate to where you're playing against?
That was the key to the team last year. There's a dial that you have to twist.
Yes.
It's like, I need explosive plays, which normally means you have to turn up the risk to get those explosive plays.
Right.
They last year had the benefit of getting explosive plays without turning up the cheat code. But right now, they're in the world that the rest of us are in, where you might have to turn up the risk a little bit on your quarterback to create explosive plays.
And the final thought I would offer on this, and this is something that I think applies well beyond football, the best time to make changes is when things are going well.
Yes.
A lot of other teams in the NFL are adjusting, adapting, evolving, whatever you want, out of desperation.
Yes.
They get to do it from a position of 4-0 to the point that you're making. The question is, does the formula they currently have lead to another championship, which is the only thing they want? The answer, I guess, to that will be the proof in the pudding. If they have that kind of